This is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we are going to have our discussion on the concept of the Paap Kartari yoga and the Shubh Kartari yoga. So friends, like the way from the past few uploads, I am emphasizing on all those standalone individual concepts which can actually give you an edge while assessing the strength and the dignity of your planets. Now, whether this could be the concept of Mandakaraka Sthana, the death afflicting placement of the planets, which we just discussed. We have also discussed about the degrees and the concept of the combustion as well. So same way friends, in this video we will have our discussion on the concept of the Paap Kartari and the Shubh Kartari yoga. So now friends, like the way you know by this habit that whichsoever topics I talk about, I always share my own personal experiences surrounding by that topic. So here, just because this is going to be a concept surrounding the influence, so trust me, if I were to share my own personal life, my school or my college life, so the only matter of concern which my parents had with me was my company. So my school college life was like that: if there is a basket filled with fruits, all the fruits are immaculate, fine, just one fruit is rotten, so my hand will automatically take me to that rotten fruit only. I will cherish it, I will nurture it, I will become very good friends with it. So that is how my school and college life was. I still remember once, because of my increasing and rising shenanigans and the mischiefs, so my mom, who always used to consult astrologers to pacify my planets and all of that, so once I remember during my college years, so they were planning to visit an astrologer in the afternoon. So I had this little bit idea about that. So when I came back from the college, I just asked out of curiosity to my sister, so hey, what did that astrologer say about me? So my sister was like all red, all bottled up anger and frustration, and she actually bursted out, "I never felt this embarrassed and humiliated ever in my life." I got confused. It's like visiting an astrologer, consulting a chart, what it has to do with the feeling humiliated or embarrassed? So then she said, "I don't know, this guy," so what he actually did was, he only saw a strong Rahu, he saw a strong 8th house Mars, and he made my life a complete screenshot or a synopsis from a show like Breaking Bad or Narcos or a Naughty America, a complete censored movie. And I'm laughing, I'm telling her, that's not true. Even my mom is laughing and my sister is like, who knows about the future? So the thing is, that guy, he only saw these entities, but he did not see the moon's influence on the moon. So like there is such an auspicious benefic influence which moon is having. So no matter what the life circumstances and situations are bringing into you, you can still be sticking with the righteousness, strong morals, ethics and values. So that is a concept and my real life anecdote and incident which will help you understand this today's concept. So now friends, this concept has everything to do with the influence and dividing the planets into categories of benefic and malefic. Now when I say benefic or malefic, here I am not talking about the functional malefic or benefic. So that is something which happens when planet gets that stature of being benefic or malefic basis the houses that planet is ruling in your chart. So that is something which we are not considering in this concept. In this concept, we are only considering the natural, innate, pure nature of the planets. So the first category of the benefic category or nature of planets is of definitely Moon, Mercury, Venus and Jupiter. When we talk about the definite category of the malefic planets, we are going to place Rahu, Ketu and Saturn over there. Now friends, when we talk from the perspective of the Mars and the Sun, there is always a debate over there, because definitely these two planets are malefic in nature. Rather, Sun, in whichever house it is sitting in, it burns out the signification of that house. But at the end of the day, Sun and Mars also has got the stature of being gods as well. So this is a concept, or this is a category like Sun and Mars, which is always being debated amongst the astrologers whenever it comes down to assessing the influence of the Paap Kartari or the Shubh Kartari yoga. So that is something which I will leave on to you. Whatsoever your findings, your assessment is, do share it on the comment section. But now friends, coming back to our discussion. So now friends, when we talk about let's first start with the Paap Kartari yoga. So friends, that's very simple. Whenever we talk about the Paap Kartari yoga, the name in itself means Paap means sin, Kartari means like a scissor, and yoga means the influence or the kind of surrounding influence. So what happens is that the important aspect or pillars of your chart, now this could be your ascendant, this could be your 10th house, this could be your 7th house, or any house in consideration, and the important players where we talk about your ascendant lord, this could be your sun, this could be your moon. So if you're going to find the malefic planets to be placed a house before and a house after the house in consideration or a planet in consideration, they infuses their malefic influence in the true qualities of that aspect. So for example, if you will find Rahu to be placed in the 2nd house and Saturn to be placed in the 12th house, then you can say that one malefic is placed in the 2nd house, one malefic is placed in the 12th house. They are infusing there and suppressing the signification of the 1st house by their negative strong malefic qualities, which can give rise to that the 1st house is all about your health, your personality. 2nd house and 12th house also deals with people who are very close to you and your hidden enemies. So native might have to face heat in these areas. Now friends, while assessing the Paap Kartari yoga, you have to also take into consideration the planets which are posing a threat, how strong they are, how potent they are, because that is also going to determine and decide the intensity of their influence. So now friends, that's very simple. If you're going to find for example Rahu to be placed in the 2nd house, Rahu is always retrograde, and you are going to find Mars or Saturn in the 12th house. So Rahu is coming backward and Saturn or Mars is coming forward, and they are squeezing the signification positivity of the 1st house. So the influence of this Paap Kartari yoga is not only going to be felt in the house, but even if you will find a benefic planet being placed over here, that is also going to face the brunt of this squeezing effect being posed by the malefic planets from the either side houses. So friends, it's very simple. Like, see, imagine it in a real life scenario that a saint, if you're going to send a saint in a very hedonistic, in a very toxic, in a very drug kind of psychedelic influence, so somehow sooner or later even the saint is going to get blemished or going to get affected with the traces of the toxicity or negativity around him. So that is the same concept which gets applicable in the Vedic astrology as well. So now the concept of Paap Kartari, one way of determining it, I explained it to you. And same way friends, like if you are going to find the same influence affecting the natal moon as well. So if you are going to find someone's moon to be placed in the 5th house, but you will find that in the 4th house, a house before, there is a malefic planet being present over there. This could be Rahu, Ketu, Saturn, Mars, and in the house after, like the 6th house, there is also a malefic planet being placed over there. And if you will find the alignment in this form, that the planet which is placed in the 4th house, that is moving forward, but the planet which is placed in the 6th house, that planet is retrograde. Now Rahu and Ketu are always retrograde, or this could be in your natal chart, Mars or Saturn was retrograde at the time you were born and they were placed in this alignment. So then friends, in those circumstances and scenario, the squeeze and the suppressing effect of the malefic planets from the other houses is going to be very intense, very strong on the native. Now friends, in order to determine this or judge this, so friends, while assessing this combination, you have to also take into consideration that how potent, how strong the malefic planets on the either side are there in terms of their zodiac sign placement, in terms of their degrees. So if you're going to find a planet which is just of 2 degrees and 3 degrees, a malefic planet, so you are a Leo ascendant, so you have a Saturn to be placed in your 2nd house, and you have a Mars or Rahu to be placed in your 12th house, but in terms of degrees, they are of very less degree, then you can come to this conclusion that yes, there is a malefic influence, but it's not as potent and as powerful that it can actually bring you down or completely evaporate the natural positive qualities of the 1st house. So that is friends one way of looking at it. Now you must be wondering, is this Paap Kartari yoga is always harmful? it's like always going to pose a threat and impediment in your success. So friends, that's not true. Trust me, in the charts of many presidents, in the charts of many successful politicians, this combination has been seen. See, I'm not sure, but to the best of my knowledge, even Angela Merkel has a very empowered, a strong 12th house. So that in itself indicates that being a politician where you are always surrounded by the controversies, oppositions, criticism, challenges, so your success is completely dependent on how you deal with all these threatful situations. So lot many politicians have also attained success because of these Paap Khatri yoga only. So it all comes down to your aspiration, in which area of life you're working hard, and are there any saving grace which can prove as a defensive mechanism to the house which is getting affected because of coming in the influence of the Paap Khatri yoga. So that was one concept, friends, which I wanted to share over here. Now if you want to understand the concept of the Shubh Khatri yoga, so friends, that is also very easy. So now when we talk about the Shubh Khatri yoga, so for that you have to take into consideration the benefic planets, where we talk about Moon, Mercury, Venus and Jupiter. So out of these 4 planets, see, when we talk from the perspective of Venus and Jupiter, they are not only benefic in nature, but they also have got the stature and designation of a preceptor, of a guru as well. And Moon and Mercury has got a very frivolousness, strong and high impressionability in it. So if you are going to find these benefic planets to be placed or surrounded by any important aspect or pillar of your chart. Now this could be your 10th house, this could be your ascendant, this could be your natal moon as well. Like not only that, even if you're going to find this kind of placement in the form of surrounding a malefic planet as well. So if you are a Aries ascendant person, and if you're going to find in the 2nd house you have an exalted moon over here, and in the 12th house you have a well established Jupiter over there, so then it's definitely going to protect all the signification of not only your 1st house but also of the Mars as well. Because friends, you have to understand this thing, that when we talk about a strong Mars, that too for a Aries ascendant native, that can actually act as a spark, a triggering, a highly impulsive nature and personality. At the end of the day, a lot of the enemies which we generate in our life, that tend to stir up or happen in our life because of our own actions, because of our own rashness only. So if you're going to have this kind of combination where Jupiter is well placed in the 12th house, not only it's going to, the divine energy is going to be protecting you, subconsciously infusing good traits, good thoughts in your mind, a divine protection always being there available for you, but also it can also protect you from the account of the hidden enemies as well. So that is how, friends, you can fairly foresee that the influence of the planets, specifically if they come in a certain alignment of benefic influence in the form of a Shubh Khatri yoga and malefic influence in the form of the Paap Khatri yoga, what role can it plays in increasing the intensity of a negative, dreaded malefic yoga, or increasing and protecting us through creating a divine shield around us, protective shield around us, which can be called as the Shubh Khatri yoga. So that is something, friends, which I wanted to share as a part of my inputs on this concept of Paap Khatri and the Shubh Khatri yoga. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page.